Hello guys, welcome back to the new session on physics. This is sound second part. This is Trishi Ralva. So in today's session we'll be mainly discussing about the reflection of sound, audible range, applications of the infra and ultrasound, and also structure of ear, and also about reverberation and application of sound, like if you say sonic boom. Okay, sonic boom. Now let's start. Before that, in the last sessions we had discussed about characteristics of a sound wave, propagation and production of sound, right? And also some relations like v equals lambda nu and lambda equals 1 by t. Before that, I had missed one characteristic of sound called as timbre. What is this timbre? Timbre is nothing but the quality of sound or characteristic of sound which differentiates other sounds, which I'll write it as DIFFCIET. Okay, differentiates other sounds. This is not a spelling mistake, I have just written the short form. Okay, differentiate other sounds, quality of sound which differentiates other sound even if pitch and loudness are same. So what is timbre? The quality of sound which differentiates other sounds even if the pitch and loudness are same. For example, if you take singers, certain singers will have same pitch and loudness. Okay, what will happen? But their voices are little bit different, right? They have different quality of sound, or the the sound might be what to say, it will be pleasant to hear, some sounds will be more pleasant to hear. So this is called as the timbre of sound. Next one, okay, 1 second, sorry, to take the eraser. Yes, next we have to move on to the concepts of reflection of sound. Okay, reflection of sound. Before that, we'll finish off with the speed of sound. Okay, we have not spoke about speed of sound, which is very important for a exam point of view. Speed of sound, because many questions will be asked, like one question is in there in your NCERT book only, speed of sound in aluminium. You should know the speed of sound, so you have to refer to the table. Okay, here I'll just give the basic idea, basic things, like speed of sound in air, water. Air, it is 344 meter per second. Water, it's 1500 meter per second approximately, and solids, it's 3500 meter per second approximately. So these were the speed of sound. Okay, in different media. One more thing, speed of sound depends on the temperature. That is, I will take it as V is directly proportional to T. That is, if T increases, T means capital T for temperature, V also increases. If T decreases, V also decreases. For example, at 0 degree Celsius, the speed of sound in air is 341 meter per second. But when it comes to 22 degrees Celsius, the speed of sound will become 344 meters per second. Okay. So this was about the speed of sound. Now let's come on. Now let's move on to the next topic, that is sonic boom. Sonic boom is also very important. Okay, you should know the application of sonic boom, that is in your supersonic aircraft. See, for understanding the concept of sonic boom, we need to understand one more concept called as supersonic speed. Supersonic speed. What is supersonic speed? When any body or any object attains speed greater than that of speed of sound, that is called as supersonic speed. Example, you can take your jet aircrafts, fighters, fighter planes, etc. Okay, this is about supersonic speed. Okay, we'll keep it here only. What will happen is when a body attains supersonic speed, what will happen is there will be certain energy, not certain actually, large amount of energy is released in form of shock waves. So these shock waves, what will happen is due to air pressure variation, the shock waves produce a loud sound called as sonic boom. Okay, very simple. Sonic boom. This sonic boom shatters window glass and also causes cracks in walls, etc. And you might have heard of the loud sound that is occurred in Bangalore a month ago, right? Certain experts say that it might be a sonic boom of a fighter jet. Near the HAL airport area, and if you are near airports, you will often experience sonic booms. Okay, right? Yes. So this was about sonic boom. What is sonic boom? When an object or a body attains speed greater than the speed of sound, it is said to be supersonic, and when the body is moving at supersonic speed, it releases certain large amount of energy in form of shock waves. Due to the pressure variation, air pressure variation, what happens is the shock waves tend to produce a loud sound called as sonic boom, which shatters windows and walls get cracked, etc. Okay, these are the side effects of sonic boom. Next concept is reflection of sound. Okay, yes. Where is this pen? Next is reflection of sound. What is reflection of sound? Bouncing back of sound waves from the after striking the reflecting surface is called as reflection of sound. So for understanding this for understanding reflection of sound, loss of reflection is present, as it is same as the loss of reflection in light. So change the incident ray, reflected ray and normal lie on same plane, and also angle of incidence equals angle of reflection. And next is the activity to prove the presence of laws of reflection of sound. So two pipes are taken, okay, such that the angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. On one corner of the pipe, stopwatch is kept, one end of the pipe, and another end of the pipe your ear is kept. When the angle of incidence and angle of reflection is equal, you can hear a clear sound of the ticking of the stopwatch. If the angle of incidence and the reflection are unequal, the intensity or the quality of sound reduces, or you might not be able to hear the sound. Okay, this proves the presence of laws of reflection. Okay, very important concepts. Please do revise. If you didn't understand, you can post it on the chat box. Okay, I won't be answering it here on the video because this is a premiere. I will be just answering it on the chat box or in the chat box. Okay. Yes, no, 1 second. Yes. So next concept is of echo. What is echo? Echo or echo? So if you have any doubts, please post it in the chat box. I will just answer it out. Okay, don't what. If you have any doubts, you can email us, or if you want live interaction like thing, you can just chat the doubt, or you can type the doubt in the comments also. No, not an issue. We'll be looking after it. Next concept is echo. Yeah, echo is nothing but repetition of sound due to the reflection of sound by large and hard obstacle. See, this term is the large and hard obstacle. It's present in the coming topic after echo. Okay, I'll ask you the question. Please remember this term, large and hard obstacle. What is echo? Repetition of sound due to reflection of sound by large hard obstacle. So there are some conditions for which echo is produced. Okay, conditions required for echo to be produced. These conditions are very important. Without these conditions, echo will not be heard, or the two sounds will be heard differently. So let us discuss about these conditions. Oh no, what is happening? Yes. So conditions or echo to be produced. I will just write it as condition. So first condition is time gap between incident and reflected ray should be at least 0.1 seconds. Okay, time gap should be at least 0.1 second. If it is less than 0.1 second, then echo will not be heard, and if it is greater than 0.1 second, two different sounds will be heard. Two different sounds will be heard. Okay, I hope you have understood this. This 0.1 second is called as persistence of hearing. This 0.1 second time gap is called as persistence of hearing. I hope you have understood this time gap. Time gap should be at least 0.1 second. If it is lesser than 0.1 second, you cannot hear the echo. If it is greater than 0.1 second, two different sounds will be heard. Okay. Yes. And 0.1 second is called as persistence of hearing. Yeah. Today I won't be taking maths and chemistry class as I have some work. Today I will be taking only physics and mental ability, easy chapter. Okay. And conditions we got to know. Next is distance. The first condition we got to know. Next is distance. To find distance, we have something solving here. Derivation of distance, minimum distance. We got to know time is 0.1 second, minimum time to get the echo. Distance will be 2D because incident ray will bounce on the reflecting surface and come back. So it will be 2D. Okay, I hope you have understood it. And V is 344 meter per second in air. So I will take it as D is given as 2. So V equals D by T. now it will become d equals v into t, so it will become 2d equals vt, that is 344 into 0.1 by 2, which is 17.2 meters. So the minimum distance between the obstacle and the surface should be 17.2 meter. That's all. That is the second condition. Third and fourth condition, you have learnt it already. The obstacle should be large and the obstacle should be hard enough. That's all. Very simple. Obstacle should be hard and obstacle should be large enough. I will not write it here. Please do note it down. Yeah. I hope you have understood the concept of echo. Now moving on to the next concept, that is reverberation. Reverberation. What is this reverberation? It is nothing but you might have observed when you are sitting in some auditorium, you might have heard some disturbance, like the repeated sound, repeated reflection of sound, not echo, something different. Okay, it will be really disturbing. Okay, that is called as reverberation. So what is reverberation? Sound created in a big hall will persist by repeated reflection from the walls until it is reduced to a value where it is no longer audible. So it will keep on irritating us, reflecting. Okay, the sound will keep on reflecting until a condition where it is no longer audible is reached. Okay, no longer audible. That is called as reverberation. To reduce reverberation, what you do is you will use sound absorbents or sound absorbing material like fiber board, a rough plaster, etc. You might have seen the soft board in theatres and all to avoid reverberation, and you might have seen that observed that in theatres and auditoriums the seats are also made out of sound absorbing material. So that is called as, that is how you reduce the reverberation. Reverberation is one of disadvantages of multiple reflection. Disadvantage of, write it as MR, short form, multiple reflection. Now we will learn the advantages about the advantages of multiple reflection. Advantages is also very simple. I know you will understand it properly, the advantages, as it is super important. Yeah. So first one is megaphones. Megaphones, you know, the politicians scream out, vote for us. That is also due to reflection of multiple reflection of sound. And stethoscope, the doctors use it, the snake like thing. Okay, that is also due to multiple reflection it works out. And also finally in concert halls or auditoriums, you might have seen the curved ceiling. This is also one of the application of multiple reflection. What will happen is, if there is a curved ceiling, the sound waves or sound is uniformly spreaded throughout the auditorium or the hall. That's it. So we'll revise whatever we have learned till here. So megaphones, stethoscopes and concert halls or auditoriums have curved ceiling. These are the application of multiple reflection of sound. Next is range of hearing. This is also very important, range of hearing. You have learnt it in your previous classes. What I'll do is, I'll make a column here. Okay, I'll erase this thing also. Objectives are no longer needed. Yeah, I have erased the whole thing. So I'll just make three columns: ultrasound, infrasound, and this is audible range. So audible range is 20 to 20 kilohertz. 20 kilohertz is nothing but 20,000 hertz. You should know it. Okay, this is the audible range. The sound greater than 20 kilohertz is called as ultrasonic sound or ultrasonic sound, ultrasound. Sounds lesser than 20 hertz, not 20 kilohertz, 20 hertz is infrasonic sound, infrasonic sound or infrasound. Okay, now we learn the applications of infra and ultrasound. Okay, yes, yeah, see, one second. Yeah, for infrasound we can take as earthquakes. They produce low frequency infrasound. Earthquake is also a seismic wave, if you know. Seismic waves, right? Shock waves. Seismic waves are nothing but shock waves. They alert certain animals like dogs, elephants, etc. Right? That is an example of infrasound. And ultrasound applications are vast. So it is used to clean parts, detect flaw in any material, and used in it is also used in echocardiography. What is echocardiography? It's nothing but, you might have seen that something like this, your parents might have it. See, a pink graph sheet like thing. What is that, you know? It's nothing but, it is used to detect the various flaws in your heart rate, heartbeat. Okay, image of your heart. That is called as echocardiography. And next is ultrasound scan. You might have heard about it. Second, yeah, ultrasound. Write it as ultrasound scan. You can write it as ultrasonic scan or ultrasound scan, anything. That is used to detect the kidney stones, bladder, damage in your liver, etc. And also, yeah, this is also called as ultrasonography. Okay, and also it is used to break stones in your kidney stones in your kidney. And the main application of infrasound is sonar, sound navigation and ranging. What is the sonar? It is used to detect the icebergs and the distance between the ship, the base of the ship, and this thing, seabed. Okay, so this is called as the sonar. Sound navigation and ranging is the full form of, once again, sound navigation and ranging. I hope you have understood this thing. And also, infrasound is used by bats. Ultrasound is used by bats to detect its prey. Bats to detect its prey. Okay, this was about infrasound and ultrasound. Okay, now we'll come to the last topic of this chapter. Okay, we have almost completed the chapter. We have only one last topic and we'll solve some numericals and end this chapter. I'll just draw some normal structure. It won't look good, I know. I'm not a good artist, so please do cooperate with me. This is something like this. This is the auditory canal. Okay, and this is called as the eardrum, and we have three small bones called as stirrup, anvil and hammer. I don't know how to draw them properly. So stirrup will look something like this. So this is the, yes, this is a stirrup. Anvil, and hammer, something like this. Okay, and we have the oval window and cochlea and the auditory nerves. So this is the basic structure of ear, basic structure. So this is called as pinna. This is auditory canal. This is called as hammer bone, hammer, stirrup. This is anvil, and this is called as eustachian tube. And yeah, we missed the important part, ear drum. And this is cochlea, and this is auditory nerve. So let us learn how do we perceive sound with our ears. So the outer ear is called as pinna. This is the outer ear, pinna, the funnel like thing. Okay, one second. Yeah, this is called as pinna. The pinna, does is it collects the sound from the surroundings, and the sound wave then travels through the auditory canal and hits the tympanic membrane, or it's called as tympanic membrane also, eardrum. Tympanic membrane or eardrum. This eardrum then vibrates. What happens? This eardrum then vibrates. It moves inwards and outwards. Okay, compressions and rarefactions take place. Eardrum vibrates, and the vibrated wave or vibrations reach to the stirrup, anvil and hammer. Stirrup, anvil and hammer. These three bones, small bones, then amplify the sound, and then what will happen is the sound wave then moves through the oval window. Then it moves through the oval window to the cochlea. Now the cochlea comes. What does the cochlea do? Cochlea then converts these vibrations to the electric signals, and these electric signals are sent to the auditory nerve, which is then interpreted by the brain. Okay, yeah, I hope you have understood the concept of hearing. Okay, pinna collects the sound, and auditory canal, it moves to the auditory canal. When the sound wave hits the eardrum vibrates and produces certain vibrations. These vibrations are then amplified by hammer, stirrup and anvil, and then the amplified vibrations enter the oval window, and then the cochlea converts these vibrations into electrical signals and sent to the auditory nerve. Auditory nerves carry these electrical impulses into the brain, and the brain then interprets the sound as it wishes. Hope you have understood the topic of today. So we have successfully completed the chapter sound. If any doubts, please do post it in your chat box. Now we will solve two numericals based on echo. The 2D equals V into T, that formula is there. Yeah. Oh. Okay. I'll just write given. Okay. I'll just read out the question. You can write it down. I hope you can write it down. Yes. See, a boy blew a whistle standing in front of a cliff. He heard the echo after 2 seconds. So time is given as 2 seconds. Okay, and find the distance of the cliff from the boy if velocity of sound in air is 332 meter per second. So velocity is given as 332 meter per second. We know that 2D equals V into T, that is Vt by 2, D equals Vt by 2, and velocity into time 332 into 2 by 2. So it is 332 meters. Simple. Okay. First question was very simple. What was the question? Boy blew a whistle while standing in front of a cliff. He heard the echo after 2 seconds. Find the distance of the cliff from the boy if velocity of sound in air is 332 meter per second. Now, wait, sorry. Yes. Yeah. Now let's continue. With the last numerical. So last one, a sonar device fitted in a submarine receives 4 seconds later, echo 4 seconds later. So 4 seconds is the time. The signal is transmitted towards another submarine 3060 meter away. So distance is given as 3060 meters. Now find the speed of sound in water. So we have to find the speed of sound. So we know the relation 2D equals Vt. Now we got the distance. Okay. So yeah, rearranging this equation, we need to find this thing, right? Velocity. So velocity equals (2d by t). So it is 1 second. Okay, this is not 2D because as it is in D form only, you take it as V equals D by 2 T. Okay, you know this formula, right? Velocity formula, sorry. Velocity formula only, you will substitute the values. So D is 3060. Time here is taken as T by 2. T by 2 time. So 4 by 2 is 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Or if you take this thing also, it's not an issue. 3060 by 4. So you can just substitute it. Not a bad idea. We can use it. So it is 1530 meter per second. The velocity is 1530 meter per second. So what we learned today? We learnt about the reflection of sound, then we learnt about reverberation, and we learnt about speed of sound in different media, and applications of sound, audible range, and also infrasound, ultrasound applications, and sonic boom, and also finally the sound perseverance by our ear. And thank you for watching. Thank you. Please like, subscribe and share the channel for more such videos to come up. For more such videos to come up. Thank you very much. This is Trishi Ralva signing off from Craft Acmore Physics. So in the next session we'll take up with the revision session, or we'll start with gravitation or forces and laws of motion. Okay, any one of the chapter. And one more thing, there is a syllabus reduction here. So CBSE has cancelled the chapter gravitation, the half of gravitation, that is the buoyancy and all. Actually sound is also cancelled, but it's important. We'll do buoyancy also, don't worry. Okay, for a school exams I'm telling. Yes. Okay, thank you very much. Please like, subscribe, share the channel for more such videos to come. This is Trishi Ralva signing off. Bye.